doing?
Oh, hi! Well, I'm knitting a woolen sweater.
Oh, nice. Did you know that the wool can be the source of transportation of invasive species?
Oh, really? But what are invasive species exactly?
Well, they're defined as any non-native species that significantly modify the ecosystem it colonizes. And the essential characteristics of invasive species are quick adapting to a new environment, fast reproduction, and creating damage to the local ecosystem.
But what does that have to do with wool?
Well, there are many examples of invasive plant and animal species being introduced to various parts of the world via the transportation of textile goods. And wool is just one of them. You see, in modern times, the primary source of wool in Europe were Australia, Central America, and South Africa. Wool is a good means of transport for the plants, as the plant and seeds quickly get stuck in it. So good the plant species introduced to the new environment via wool deserve their name, the wool aliens. The ecosystem of Australia, South America, and South Africa differ significantly from the ecosystems of Europe, containing different animal and plant species. Although those parts of the world present habitat to different plant and animal species than Europe, the European climate environment in general might suit some of those species very well. If a particular species is introduced to a novel environment and seems to thrive well there, it can cause devastating damage to the local ecosystem.
Okay, I understand. And do you know any examples of wool aliens?
Actually, yes. There is an interesting story of wool aliens introduced to Europe that come from Brno in Czech Republic, where the wool processing factory was placed back in the 1960s. Most of the raw material for the factory business came from Australia, South Africa, and Central America, and the waste product of the wool processing was happily used as a garden fertilizer. Back in the day, scientists recorded 56 novel species in the gardens of the factory workers and connected them with the wool processing waste. However, the survival of alien species does not rely solely on the event of introduction. As the introduced species did not evolve in the environmental conditions they found themselves in, survival is a lottery. The slightest differences can make a difference between life and death. Those are the pH of the soil, the amount of the sunlight or the rain, the presence of predators, and many more. 40 years after 56 new species were described in the Czech Republic, only 18 of them were still present in 2002, and that is still a lot.
Wow, that was such an interesting story. Thank you for teaching me something new.
No problem, darling. But listen, I have to rush now. Sales are coming. It's Black Friday today.
Wow, we're going shopping. Well, great. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, darling. See you in a few hours at work.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Look what I bought. This amazing fur coat, and I got something for you as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, look. This amazing real mink fur just for you.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, I appreciate the gift, but I cannot accept this.
Why? Put it on. Don't you like it?
No, it's not that I don't like it. I just rather wouldn't wear fur. Well, aren't you aware of the negative impact this can have on the environment?
No. Can you tell me more about it?
Well, sure. Regarding our conversation today about invasive species, well, I have one more example of that. As you probably know, in the past, fur was a famous textile. Certain animals, such as American mink, were prevalent for fur production. American mink is a semi-aquatic carnivorous animal native to North America. For efficiency of fur production, the American mink was transported to Europe and bred on mink farms. Naturally, some of the animals escaped from the farms to the nature, and American mink adapted very well to the European environment. They reproduced and caused a significant damage to the populations of species across all Europe. The most damage caused by American mink has been recorded on populations of ground nesting birds, especially waterfowl like ducks, geese, and swans. The damage was also recorded to populations of other mustiles, such as European mink and Eurasian polecat, as well as the populations of water voles, stone crayfish, dice snake, and common frog, and of course many others.
Well, thank you for providing me with this new information to think upon. I'm sure not going to buy fur ever again, and I'm going to think more consciously when shopping the next time.
You're welcome. I'm glad that we can learn this way together. And now, we invite you to learn with us. We prepared for you some tasks and questions to think about.
Thank you!
And do widzenia!